I came to the beach this morning to do my morning walk per usual, and as soon as I got here, it started raining. And then I wanted to record a video, but I was like, of course I can't record in the rain, but it's kind of appropriate for what I want to talk to you about in today's video, because I've been realizing this summer that things don't always go as planned. You hear the thunder? But we can still find magic in these moments. So I'm gonna get in my car and finish this conversation at home, but I definitely wanted you to see where it all started this morning. If you've been anywhere on the internet this summer, you probably seen that everyone is like in some tropical destination. They're in the south of France, they're in Turks and Caicos, and here I am at home in Florida, just got rained out from my beach walk, but I'm still finding magic in this summer, and I'm doing it without a five-star resort, without a romantic lover whisking me away out of the country somewhere. And I definitely don't have the entire summer off from work to not worry about responsibilities and things like that. But again, I'm still finding magic in this summer. And I really think that I've started to realize that finding the magic in things isn't necessarily about the experience, but more about the decision that you make. Just like with everything in life, it's all about decisions. And that's what I want to talk about in today's video, because I think that you can find magic this summer in your life as well, even if it doesn't look like the Instagram or the Pinterest worthy content that we were seeing everywhere. And since my morning did not go as planned, I did took a few notes, because I wanted to have this conversation today because it was inspired by a recent newsletter that I sent out to my newsletter community, the Ease for Ambition Collective. So if you've been watching my videos and you like my content, I definitely think you'll like to join the newsletter. It's down in the comments if that's something that you're interested in. I just go a little bit deeper into some things that just don't make it to my YouTube videos. And look, you can tell this is like free flowing. If you're new here, I'm Erica Prevail, and I talk about lifestyle redesign. I talk about modern work culture and how I cured myself from corporate brain rot. And I also talk about wellness and creativity. And like I said, this video was inspired by a recent newsletter. I really didn't plan to record this video. Well, like this is how it really started. I was thinking about this summer, and again, you know, we're all on the internet, even though I don't have personal social media. Like, I got rid of my personal social media many years ago. I just have my business accounts. I still see things here and there. And you see people traveling everywhere. That's what people do during the summers. You see people taking time off and things like that. And that's just not what my summer looks like. And after my 7 days of silence, I've just been having more revelations come to me, which is beautiful in itself. And I just wanted to carry those revelations from my 7 days of silence throughout the whole summer, and what that would look like to have a magical summer in my everyday, ordinary life. And I've been definitely so, I guess, for lack of a better word, amazed by the things that I'm noticing that I would have probably ignored any other time. And I just want to talk about that a little bit today to maybe it can help you too. Because when I first had the idea, you know, I've been noticing things throughout my summer and having these beautiful moments. And I was like, oh, I would like to make a video about this. But I immediately said, nah, you know, I'm not going to do that, because then I would just be too concerned about shots and angles and production, and because it would have been like more vloggy. And I've stopped doing that like year well, I've had this YouTube channel for 2 years, but I did some vlogs early on, and I stopped because of all that's required to do a vlog. Like, it's a lot of work. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do a video, because I feel like that would be defeating the purpose of noticing these moments of a magical summer, because then you're not really living in it. You're too busy. I'm too busy trying to record what's going on. But I can pick up my phone and take small photos, throughout the moment. So that's what I did. And I turned it into a full newsletter where I went into all of the details of what this summer has looked like for me, and the things that I'm noticing and the things that I'm experiencing, and how they're beautiful in their ordinary moments. And I sent it out to my newsletter community, but I was like, I still want to have this conversation on YouTube. So that's what led me to do this video today. And I also want to share that when I talk about magic, I'm not just talking about the experience itself. I'm talking about the decision that we make to notice. Not waiting for something like extraordinary to happen, but just stopping right where you are in your life today, in the moments that you have, and look and notice instead of walking past something. Being present in the life that you're living right now today in these moments. Because again, what I've just noticed and what I wanted to share is that magic in ordinary days isn't about lowering your standards for your life or not going after the things you desire. It's about raising your attention to the life that you're already living today and noticing. So a few weeks ago, I was at my parents' house, and my parents have this huge mango tree in their yard. Huge. It's been there for like over 20 years, I would say. And of course it's summer, so the tree is like filled with mangoes. And most of them were like so high up in the tree, because it's like, I don't know, like a 20 something foot tree. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, it's a huge mango tree. So most of the mangoes were like up high in the tree. So my dad was saying he was going to wait for my brother to come over to help him get the mangoes that were way up high in the tree that he couldn't reach. And he has one of those like sticks. I'm not sure if you ever saw them, but they're like this stick that has like a basket at the top where you can like pull like fruit down from the tree. So I was there, and I told my dad, well, I'll help you. I'll do it, because my dad is older now, like he's almost 70 years old. So he didn't feel comfortable like getting up on a 10-foot ladder to then like try to pull mangoes down from the tree. So I told him, like, I'll do it. It was like, you will? I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So he went and got the ladder. It's like not a regular like 6-foot ladder, but it was like a 10-foot ladder. And my mom comes outside. So me and my dad are, out in the yard. My mom's there too. But so I get up on the ladder, and my dad's, down beside me, because I'm like, Dad, you better make sure this ladder is stable. So I climb up on the ladder, and then when I get to like halfway or so, he hands me like the pole or the stick or whatever. So I'm up there like reaching for the mangoes, pulling them down, and like it's high, like it's so high, like I'm high up on this ladder. Then I have this stick, which is also, I don't know, it's probably like a 4-foot stick, and I'm up there like trying to get the mango in the basket and then pull it down. So we did that. I pulled down like 6 or 7 mangoes. Some ended up in the basket, some ended up on the ground, busted open. But it's like us just laughing and having that conversation. It was just like, to me, that's like a magical moment. Like at this big age in my 40s, like climbing climbing a ladder up in there to get mangoes down out of the tree. And I just thought that was such a magical moment. And after the fact, I was telling a friend about it because I took her some of the mangoes, and I was like, if I was thinking in that moment, I would have had my mom like take a picture of me and my dad, like in that moment, me on the ladder getting the mangoes down, and then him standing beside me, like, move a little bit to the left, move a little bit to the right. I don't know. That was just like such a magical moment, like just having that ordinary moment of like I've my parents have, been in this house for many, many years, and that mango tree and us getting mangoes out of it every year. But just this moment of noticing like that time with my dad, and then afterwards me just sitting and talking with him about just life, because we like to talk about current events while he's frying fish, because I love the way that my dad fries fish. And I don't eat meat anymore, so every time I come over, if they're having like a cookout or something like that, he's like, what kind of fish you want me to cook you this time? And so I love like snapper or grouper, so he cooked me snapper that time. And it's just like having that time with my parents in just an ordinary weekend. That's the magic of this summer. And I've had multiple moments like that. You know what I mean? Like my morning walks at the beach, like that got rained out this morning. But I'm out there multiple times a week. And again, after having my 7 days of silence, just walking more on the beach without any music, without any podcast playing, and just noticing. And also, I've told you this before on other videos, but that's why I just love the beach so much, just for the energy that's held there. I feel God's presence there, the energy in the water, the sand, the crisp ocean air. I don't know, it's just something about ocean air that I can never get enough of. But me living here in Florida, like I took that for granted for so many years, because it's like, oh, it's just the beach, but just really noticing and exploring and just taking advantage of where I live. And it's just been a magical summer. Me walking on the beach, noticing like these purple flowers that were growing on a vine. And I just stopped and noticed, and I took a photo because it was a beautiful purple flower. But at the same time, it was kind of like an oxymoron, because it's like, how can these flowers be growing on the beach in the sand? Because sand is like not solid ground per se. But just me noticing those type of moments. Also this summer, I've been really exploring, as I've said before, like tea mocktails, and just exploring different flavors of tea. And that's been so fun. And even exploring new recipes at home. I was telling my friend the other day that I made this salmon pasta salad. It was like with smoked salmon, and it was so delicious. This is something that I never made before, and I didn't have a recipe. I just added things to this pasta salad that I liked. And to me, it's the creativity. I told her I was in the kitchen stirring it up, like just putting random things in there that I like not following a recipe, and just enjoying the moment. Having dinner here out on the balcony is something that I've continued to do after the 7 days of silence. Again, just sitting here on the balcony, having dinner, noticing the birds chirping, the squirrels running up and down the tree, and just being in the stillness. And to me, all of these things are magical moments. Me going outside, reading a book under a tree. I've wanted to read more fiction this year, and I had not. We're in July, and I still had not picked up a fiction book until a few weeks ago. And me just going outside, reading under the tree. One of the books I read under the tree was not a fiction book, but I'm just saying, picking up fiction books this year in the summer has been beautiful and magical. And also me signing up to go to a book club for one of those books. At the time I'm filming this video, by the time the video comes out, the book club would have happened. But I'm just looking so forward to going to the book club and again just having like a magical moment in a new setting, talking to people that I've never met before about this book that we've all read. And I'm just really looking forward to that. I've just had so many what I'm calling magical moments this summer of just noticing in my ordinary life, taking trips to the museum. I live in an area where there's lots of museums, and I like to go to one museum and work from sometimes because I just like to like soak up the energy of the art. Like they have a cafe in the museum, and sometimes I'll just go there and sit and work for a few hours, especially when I want to feel inspired or I just want a different change of scenery. Just going to the museum, exploring new tea shops. I helped a girlfriend move into her beautiful new home this summer to start the next season of her life, and just helping her unpack her boxes and set up her place, and us having girl talk and just like having magical moments in ordinary life. And I'm not even going to talk about the art. All I started like 3 art projects this summer, and I say started because I've shared before that to me, when I'm doing my art, my painting, it's not about finishing or creating something perfect. It's just about me allowing my expression to flow and giving it a space to flow into, and put it aside and come back to it when I feel ready. There's no rush. And these art projects started from like inspiration, like from colors that I wanted to use. And then I went to Hobby Lobby and picked out the colors, and I knew that I wanted to do something with florals. So I sketched a template that I would use, and I found a cardboard to cut it out, and me putting it on the canvas, and again just me playing around with things. I'm not trying to be like the next Picasso, but just allowing a space for my expression to roam and just noticing in those moments. And these are some of the things that I just wanted to share with you today about having a magical summer when you decide to do so in your ordinary life. And all the things that I just named, they cost nothing or very little. So it's not about spending money either, because I'm not in a season where I can just spend money like that. Like I'm navigating a 9 to 5 that really no longer fits me while building a business, but I'm still deciding to have a magical summer in my ordinary life. And I'll be honest too, like sometimes I feel like I'm cheating because I do live in a place where so many people come to vacation. But this is where I live. I'm a Florida native, I can't do anything about that, but it is the invitation for you to find 5 places in your city that you want to explore, a park, a museum, anything, a neighborhood that you drive by that you wanted to explore, and go explore and choose magic this summer. Decide that you want to have a magical summer, and choose it and enjoy it and notice and become aware. And again, it doesn't have to cost you anything. It doesn't have to, and if it does cost, make it be minimal cost. And that's the conversation that I wanted to have today. I know it was a little rambly, but again, this really wasn't a planned video. I went really in detail with this in my newsletter, but I still thought it was a conversation that was appropriate to have, to just share that your summer doesn't have to look like a trip to the south of France or being whisked away by a romantic lover. But I'm sure those things would be nice. But your summer doesn't have to be like that to be magical. It can be magic in the ordinary days. I had like I said, my morning walk got rained out. You can still see it's cloudy, so I'm sure the radar said it's going to be a pretty much rainy day all day. Today is Friday. It's like 8:30 in the morning. And magic isn't where Magic isn't somewhere else. Magic is right here in your everyday life when you decide to see where it is. And I'm inviting you to find the magic in your ordinary life today. And if you're interested, like I said, you like these videos, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment if anything resonated with you. Join the Easeful Ambition Collective, where I have deeper conversations like this that don't always make it onto YouTube. And let me know down in the comments, what are you going to do today to start having a magical summer? We still have multiple weeks left of the summer, so you still have time to enjoy the summer and make it magical. Until the next video, bye.